Interior to Bill's apartment, deep in the city, at night. Perspective, the detective's eyes burning very brightly. Terry is watching Bill shine an old flashlight into the detective's eyes, like a doctor would do.
Look at him, Bill. He's hard to kill. Do you see anything?
No, not yet. Is it stupid or what?
I don't know. He's been down on memory lane. You know that.
Yeah, he's still conscious and Hank was down there too.
He was.
Did this guy say anything?
Yes.
Like what?
Like what's going on and stuff like that. You know, regular stuff.
I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah, I know that. He's sure out of it. Got some sort of real jolt of electricity, I'd say.
You were supposed to stay with him.
Yes, sir. This is what I tried to do, and this is what I was trying to do.
Terry nervously rises and crosses the room. Terry, come over here.
What are you gonna do?
Come here. I'm gonna hurt you.
Oh, please don't.
I am, though. Bill crosses the room to Terry. Get on your hands and knees.
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna punch you in the head 3 times. Terry stands up and starts to cross back over by the detective. Bill is following, but they both stop. The detective has drawn his gun and is aiming at them both. Sit down, both of you. As they sit down, Bill's wife, Ellen, comes in the room.
Is this the man?
This is him. He's the detective from the outer city. Coming deeper into the city, he's causing himself nothing but trouble.
What are you doing?
I don't know. He's gonna be doing the doing. He's got a pistol there. I thought you said he knows Hank Bartellus. He doesn't know Hank Bartellus any better than I do. He couldn't get us into the inner city.
He does. You know him, don't you, Bill?
Shut up. See, he doesn't. Hey, big hole in the face. Shut it or I'll cut your lips off. Terry leans over and whispers into Bill's ear. As irritated as Bill always is with Terry, he listens anyways.
See? He's pretty sharp. Maybe we should take him into the inner city, and then, you know, he'll be more confused, and you can kill him then.
I'm gonna get that gun away from him and kill him now. What the hell do I need to take him into the inner city for?
Bill, he can stand on one foot.
Bill turns, aghast. You all said no one can go into the inner city. Then you say Bill can, because he knows Hank Bartellus. Now you say you won't. I can, you can't.
You have been in there, haven't you, Bill?
You can stand on one foot? Yes. Show me. The detective stands and lifts one foot. He holds the position long enough to prove his point. It's hard to kill a man who can stand on one foot.
Yes, it's the inner city then.
If I can get that gun away from him, I think it'll have to be otherwise. He'll be right back as a memory. And a memory is just as dangerous in this old world. Plus, I'd like to prove to the son of a bitch I can get in there.
That's right.
Bill, turning away from Terry to the detective. How are you getting along in the city, Mr. Detective? Not so good, I'd say. You don't understand our ways. Bill is chain-smoking now next to a huge ashtray of butts by his chair. You haven't done anything since you got here. You haven't solved anything. You have a few clues maybe, but nothing more. This is what amazes me. You won't succeed. You can't. You think you're in control right now. You got a gun. You have no control. In a few minutes, Science World will be on. The neighbor boy, Riley, will come over. By the end of the show, you will be sitting there, but you won't understand any more than you do now, and I'll have the gun on you. No, you won't. There's a knock on the door.
Come on in, Riley!
Riley comes in and shuts the door. He is dressed in a dirty white t-shirt and black pants and shoes. He has black, greasy hair.
Hi, Bill.
Come on, Riley. Science World's almost on. You're a little late.
How was working?
The presence of Riley, as so accurately predicted by Bill, makes the detective nervous. Bill smiles at the detective.
What did I tell you?
Now to Riley.
Turn the set on, Riley. Let's see some Science World.
Riley goes to the set. Elaine sits down on the couch across the room with 2 of her children. They are like animals, bouncing on the couch, laughing, jeering little laughs and hitting Elaine in her face over and over. She never does anything to stop them. They are totally out of control. Science World comes on with at first some very strange music. Then we see 3 men, 2 of them in white lab coats, the third in a baggy tweed suit. The lab-coated scientists are assembling a metal box with electrical equipment inside. The other man is watching them. The first one is having trouble putting in a corkscrew on the back panel. The second one wants to help, but is not because he wants to let his partner do it alone. The man, on the other hand, thinks he can put the screw in better himself, so he's trying to get close and do it. But number 2 is pressing him hard against the man to keep him away from his partner. The man is pressing very hard too, but it is a standoff. Basically, every now and again, one inches the other back, but each is holding his own. Meanwhile, number 1 keeps turning the screw, but it keeps getting a bad start and keeps popping out onto the floor. The detective looks over at Bill, who is standing up. "What are you going to do?" "Sit down."
Just to the table there for some smokes.
"All right, but I am watching you." He watches Bill move further away from him, into the shadowy dining room. Terry and Riley give each other nervous looks. The detective almost catches this. He looks at each of them, then back up to Bill, who is far away by now, wearing a big smile and disappearing into the darkness on the far side of the dining room. He is gone. Riley looks nervous, and so does Terry. Suddenly, from directly behind the detective's chair, Bill pops up. He knocks the gun from the detective's hand. It flies to the floor. Bill gets to the detective in a hammerlock hold.
Terry, pick up the gun!
As Terry goes for the gun, "I thought you were my friend."
Think again!
Terry hands the gun to Bill as Bill comes around to face the detective.
Where's your gun, bud? Why, it's right here pointing a bullet right through your nose. And remember, behind that nose is that delicate little sack of brains. What a mess that is, then, when it's blowed open. So you want to meet Hank Bartels? Is that it?
Yeah, I've been telling Terry here that since I met him. I sure do.
Well, I knew you were stupid, but didn't know I was stupid till right now, okay? I'm taking you in as soon as I get the go-ahead from Hank. I'll talk to him later. Until then, come here. I got a nice little room next to mine where I want you to stay. The detective is sitting on a low single bed. The only piece of furniture in the small room with one window stands at the door. My wife and I sleep right outside your door. Don't even try to leave. Remember, I have a gun. Bill shuts the door and the detective is alone. He lays down, props his head up with the filthy feather pillow, and crosses his feet. Outside the window, dust and smoke are billowing silently. The detective speaking to himself. Why are they going to let me in the inner city so easily? I think that's the only place they can kill me. What a world. Slow dissolve. Later, the detective hears the door open slowly, and he waits in fear to see who will enter. It is Elaine, Bill's wife. She comes into the room in her robe and closes the door behind her. In the gray half-light, she moves closer to the detective. She opens her robe and shows the detective her breast as she moves her tongue around her lips. The detective stares at her. Suddenly, there is a crack, and she instantly covers herself and freezes. They realize it was only a floorboard or something, but the magic sexual moment has been destroyed. She whimpers. The boy Riley wants to see you in the living room. Be very quiet. Bill's a very light sleeper. The detective gets up, and Elaine guides him past Bill's sleeping room, down a hallway, and lets him go alone into the living room, while she stands guard. Riley nods to the detective. The detective looks at Riley curiously. Riley shows the detective a small black box. I made it. Watch. He plugs the box into a wall socket and turns on the television. He clips another cord from the black box onto the aerial on top of the TV. He starts turning a dial. A hum starts and it gets lower and lower until on the television they start to see an image. It is Ronnie. The detective is amazed. He gets closer to the set. He looks at Riley. Riley smiles. The detective smiles back. Then they watch Ronnie. He's being attended by Bob and Dan. Deborah is in the background. I recognize them.
Doctors. I've been watching them. They're good people. Just trying to help Ronald. He's getting way too much electricity though. You gotta hurry. I've been taking readings.
Who knows about this?
Just you and me. You gotta get to Hank Bartell's fast.
I know. I've been trying. Just then, there's a scream. Elaine comes flying into the living room and falls face down, all bloody. Riley shuts the image off instantly. Bill stands smiling but enraged.
Terry! Terry! We're going now. Get up!
Then he speaks to the detective and Riley.
We're going on a trip.
You too, Riley, my little science friend.
It'll be just a little trip you've always dreamed of.
Terry comes out in a daze. He's still pulling up his pants and hooking up his belt.
Where are we going?
Bill smiling. The inner city. Elaine moans in her painful state of unconsciousness. Exterior, a dark field, a gated house, at night. The detective and Riley are led through the darkness by Bill, who holds the gun on them. Terry follows. They approach a small gatehouse by a huge old corroded chain link fence. Above the gate, there is a dirty neon white circle of light. A crowd of knitters have gathered and are following the detective. Isn't he a honey? Oh, I could just heat him up, they say. Bill is furious with the knitters.
Damn knitters! Get the hell out of here! You see the circle?
Shut up, Terry. Nobody's talking to you anymore.
Watch out around here.
Shut up, you two.
Now stop right there at the gate.
The knitter's moving in closer.
Get away, you filthy knitters. Get out.
Bill goes into the gatehouse furious. The detective watches him, talking to two men in uniform. Riley shares a nervous look with the detective. Terry paces, and as he paces up near the gatehouse. The detective watches him curiously. Terry moves near the window of the gatehouse. He stands looking inside. The buzz of the neon circle is loud. Now the two guards are coming out with Bill. The knitters have now moved very far away in the darkness.
The first guard. This I gotta see. Hey, which one of you can stand on one leg?
The detective steps forward.
You?
Yes.
Let's see you do it. And while you're at it, heard you could speak as you do it, so do that too.
The detective raises his foot once again and holds it up with his hand. As he stands on the one foot, he speaks. The detective's motto: stay alert, concentrate, stay clean. Far away, the knitters all ooh and ah, so impressed with the detective.
I'll be damned. He's close to the line, too. By the way, tell the detective what that old line is.
The guard points to a point beyond the gate, then to the detective, who remains on one foot.
See out there that rock? It's about 40 feet inside.
That's where the power will hit. You sure as hell won't be able to stand on one foot out there. You'll feel the ground dip way down. As you go in there, you'll feel it come over you. And the closer you get to the station, the worse it gets. The detective comes back to a two-legged stand. Are there people in there, other than Hank Bartellos?
Sure, there's people. They're all over the place.
Riley looks over at the detective.
You'll love them. Take them in, Bill. Okay, you guys, let's go. Come on. Let's show this detective what he's missing. Come on. Let's go.
He makes the detective and Riley go first, and hurries to follow. In the distance, the knitters all call,
Careful!
The first guard, so long! He and the other guard laugh.
It's been good to know you.
The darkness seems to swallow them up as they go through the gate. They're getting closer and closer to the rock and 40-foot mark. The detective looks back, but the guardhouse is so dark he can barely see it, and it seems at least 100 feet away. Now he looks at Bill and Terry. Bill is smiling such an evil smile. Terry is looking nervously about. Riley is now looking at him and nodding at the marker rock, which they just passed. The ground begins sloping rapidly downwards. The detective looks out ahead. Darkness. Old pipes, oily black ground, Old wires. An electrical hum is heard slightly. Then suddenly the hum is thunderous. The buzzing is deafening. They all, except Bill, begin to walk funny. They have trouble keeping their balance. Now the detective looks back. The gatehouse is gone. Bill is laughing, but the other sounds drown it out. The detective holds his head. He feels so strangely ill. Riley is unable to walk correctly. Terry is struggling. The sounds now begin to decrease, but the effect of the electricity remains. Suddenly, Terry yells out, "Now!" He leaps on Bill's back, knocking the pistol away. The pistol flips up, out and into a small oil sludge pool, and it disappears. "Get the gun!" The detective, smiling up at Terry, then quickly running to find the gun, only to realize that it's sunk beyond retrieving.
It's gone.
Terry is riding Bill around as if he was a horse. He tries to bring him down, but Bill is too strong. "We gotta kill him! Hurry! Find something to kill him with quick! I can't hold him!" Riley and the detective race and wobble around in the darkness, trying to find some sort of weapon, as Terry rides the screaming madman Bill around in a wild, whipping circle. Finally, Riley finds a piece of iron pipe and yells out, then gives it to the detective. The detective weighs it in his hands, then goes after Bill. He swings. He hits Terry in the back. "Ow! Not me!" "Sorry!" He swings again and this time hits Bill real hard in the head. Some blood shoots out, but Bill remains very strong. Bill screams out. He tries to kick the detective. The detective swings again and smashes Bill in the nose. Blood gushes. He swings again. The swing misses. Riley finds a rock and waits for a good shot. He throws and hits Terry square in the head. "Oh! Sorry, Terry, sorry!" Riley goes to find another rock. The detective swings again. This time the pipe lands on top of Bill's head. There is a loud cracking sound and more blood, but Bill keeps going, even wilder than before. The detective hits again and again, striking severe blows. Terry wrenches Bill's neck this way and that, trying to bring him down. Terry finds a brick and finally finds a shot. The brick hit Bill in the forehead. He staggers. The detective connects 4 more times with solid blows with the pipe. Bill's smile and his screams disappear. A dazed wild looks takes their place. He falls to his knees. The detective raises the pipe as high as he can and gives Bill the final blow. Bill collapses, face first into a small mound of sludge. The 3 of them share a look of relief as they catch their breath. Thank God you're on our side, Terry.
Did you ever have any doubt, sucker?
You know I did. Terry smiles, then Riley and the detective follow. Suddenly, Riley produces from his pocket a black electrical box and several feet of cord. Riley, laughing and bouncing up and down. "Look what I smuggled in!" They all laugh happily then. Terry's smile fades as he stands up.
I don't know why we're laughing. This place is the worst. There's people here, yeah, but watch out. They'll kill you for literally nothing. A lot of them have warts, all sorts of diseases. God, I'm almost crying now. What are we gonna do?
Take it easy, Terry. Let's just not get too caught up by any of them and find Hank Bartelos.
Yeah, and then what? He's worse than all of them put together. What can we do?
We won't know that until we find him. Then, look, we have to try. We have to try to save Ronald. Riley, looking down at his black box.
There's a hell of a lot bad electricity around here.
They head into the darkness, a slow dissolve. Main City. We're back with Ronnie, moving backstage to a room where Ronnie is sitting with the rest of the band. Fred gets a big black electrical box out from under a table and takes it over to the rest of the guys and Ronnie.
You better not let Dan and Bob see that.
I won't. Hey, Ronnie, look at this. Ronnie looks.
This is gonna give you more electricity.
Get a big shock.
No, no!
You're gonna be all over that stage tonight.
They all laugh.
You little Zed.
He's gonna need those doctors tonight. They laugh some more. Ronnie starts to cry, but he doesn't cry very well, just little sobs.
Hey, we're just having fun.
They'll be here any minute. Don't worry. Shit. What a little worrier. We'll give him something to really worry about tonight. Shut up, Fred. Mr. Barco is backstage looking for Dan and Bob. Dan, Bob, and Deborah are talking together in the back. Mr. Barco approaches them. Where have you been? Ronnie was calling for you. You better get in there and get him ready. Here's your check for the month. It's much smaller than usual. We had heavy expenses. You understand that, don't you? I'm sure you do. Barco starts to walk away. By the way, we're doing the first 2 numbers with Electra tonight. I want Ronnie in good shape. Come on. Go. Dan and Bob and Deborah head for Ronnie's room. We're gonna go, so don't worry, Barco. Then it's tonight, all agreed? They all shake hands together. My darlings. Dissolve to exterior, inner city at night. Note. All the inner city scenes will have distorted walking and talking. The detective Terry and Riley all have knitting needles, pin cushions, and various pain devices tied all over them. They all look like Van Gogh bandaged after he cut off his ear. Still they walk and talk strangely. When they feel real strange, they pierce themselves with another needle or pin. They are in a very brutal area of the inner city. They are just now entering a dark street of row houses. They are creeping along in the black shadows. In the distance, a gigantic black electric factory can be seen spewing tons of black smoke out through 100 black stacks. Giant electrical hums and arcing permeate the air. The small street lights rattle and pulsate violently. It is as if 1,000 subway trains were just below. You've got to get off the street. There's all those black coats out to kill us. We should find a place to stay inside quick. All right, let's find a house. Let's look inside some. Find one, that looks good. They sneak up to the closest window and peer in. Inside, they see a very dirty fat man in a t-shirt, tying a knot in a big rose. His face has many warts. The detective reacting to the man. Next house. You don't get it, do you? Get what? Never mind. What the hell are you mumbling about now? Tell me. Nothing. Except that things keep going round and round. You gotta remember that. Round and round. And round and round. You get it? What the hell is there to get? That's why I said never mind, fresh face. Never mind is never mind. How would you like it if I started yelling, never mind here? Just shut up. They creep to another window. Inside is a fairly nice-looking, dark-haired woman with just a few warts on her face. Her house looks dark, except for back in the kitchen area where she is pouring herself something to drink. They stay crouched down outside the window, playing it safe. Oh, here come more of the blackcoats. A gang of men in dark overcoats come walking quickly down the street. They each look with fear as the gang approaches. Stay down and shut up! Terry, shut up! Terry, listen! What did you say about everything a circle? Hey, let's have a nice talk about this later. No, now. We'll whisper then, or you'll be looking for your arms and legs all up and down this street, sucker. Okay. Tell me again about the circle. It's like I said, we go round and round, like a merry-go-round. Where it stops, nobody knows. I know. Where? With Hank. Okay, maybe so. Did you ever look at those symbols Ronnie gave me? How one of them shows a broken circle. Do you remember how mad that donut man got when his shoes got untied? Hey, you're not pulling the symbolic bit on me, are you, big fella? Well, maybe you're right. These symbols are important. Maybe. A broken circle. A broken shoelace. Both the same. Life. It's a donut. A circle. A circle club. The circle's at the gatehouse. I think he might be right. Okay, so how does it help us? Wait a minute, bud. You want to try your theory? How? We wait here for a donut man. They're always tying their shoes. You're right about that. And they're getting mad. But that day, someone pointed the shoelaces out. Someone yelled, your shoelaces are untied. So you yell it out, and we'll see what happens. You gonna do it? Yeah. Oh, okay, I'll give it a try. Dissolve to Detective, Terry, and Riley behind the bushes watching the street.
Here comes one, but look, he's with a whole bunch of black coats. Yell it now while they're far away.
Okay, are you guys ready to run?
Ready? Yeah, do it.
Your shoelaces are untied! There is a pause. They see the donut man stop, look down at his shoes. Suddenly he screams. 2 black coats catch on fire. Then the donut man bursts into flame during his third horrifying scream. All the other black coats dispersed instantly. The street is quiet. 3 burning bodies in the distance. Terry, Riley, and the detective stare at each other in the silence. W! Oh! W!
My God! Great balls of fire! Do you think it'll work on Hank?
I don't know. It sure worked on them, though. It sure did.
But will it work on Hank?
I don't know.
It sure worked on them.
It sure did. Back to the main city. Newspaper headline: Ronnie Rocket shocks the world. Newspaper photo of a screaming boy. Caption underneath reads, "It burns," yelled one young boy. The newspaper photo of a small child on a bicycle. His mother stands next to him with a plate of dinner. Caption underneath reads, "He rode a bike steadily for 7 whole days." Cause? Electricity from a Ronnie Rocket concert. Newspaper photo of a group of girls, hair standing on end in the air. The caption underneath it reads, "It makes us feel funny." Newspaper photo of a screaming girl. Caption underneath it reads, "I can touch him. Call me electrocute." Newspaper photo op of a tap dancing girl. Before Ronnie Rocket, I didn't know what tap dancing even was. A stage curtain. Bright lights. Audience cheers and applause as the master of ceremonies comes out to introduce the night's show. Tonight, Ronnie Rocket and Electrocute, the Big Sax Band. Ladies and gentlemen, Ronnie Rocket and Electrocute. The curtains open. Ronnie is on stage with the band. There is a long drum roll. Then Johnny plugs Ronnie in. He starts vibrating and sparking. Electrocute comes tap dancing in from the side. She tap dances up to Ronnie and touches him, and suddenly she's all aglow. She starts shrieking out a high-pitched song. Her act is that she sings and moves as if she's being electrocuted by high voltage. She sings 2 songs. After the first song, she dances over to Ronnie to get a new charge from him. She really gets going. Ronnie gets going too, but pretty much ends up banging his head against the floor over and over again, and occasionally shoots out some sparks. Electrocute gets lots of applause when she finishes. Then she leaves. Johnny helps Ronnie back up to the microphone. He mumbles a few things, and the audience applauds thunderously. Then Ronnie falls over. Johnny signals to Fred, and he pushes one of the levers on the new black box. There's a loud humming sound, and the lights dim. Ronnie starts flipping. Johnny helps him up again. This time the band starts right in. Fred gives another jab to the lever. Ronnie mimics out one of Johnny's songs. The crowd is loving every minute of it. Just as the one song ends, the music segues into another tune. The lighting changes, and a back curtain opens. Out come 100 heavy-duty saxophone players, rocking together with Ronnie Rocket. Ronnie is flipping and jumping, sparking and smoking, and finally moaning bug-eyed on the floor after his wig blows off sometime during the number. His bald head with some fat brown hairs is sweating, and when Johnny pulls the plug, Ronnie collapses and writhes in a bad fit on the stage floor. They close the curtains. The audience stamps and yells for more Ronnie Rocket. Dan and Bob rush out and carry Ronnie to his room. They give him a shot. Ronnie is in real bad shape. Deborah sits at his side, holding his little hand. Upon checking the electrical device, Bob notices that the rubber bag is filled with green fluid.
Look at this. What is that?
Poisons from too much electricity. Bob lets out some of the fluid and puts it in a small jar, holds it up to the light, and the fluid smokes a bit. It's cloudy, too. We've got to get him back to the lab and put him through the RZ. You're right about that, Bob. Mr. Barco comes in. Fix him, quick. We've got another show coming up. No more tonight. He's out cold.
Don't you give me he's out cold again. Don't you give me he's out cold. He better not be out cold. He better be on that stage tonight. And soon. Look at him.
Mr. Barco looks down momentarily, then up at Dan and Bob.
Fix him.
Dan reaches into his bag and begins pouring out a bottle of clear liquid onto a large cotton pad. Bob catches on just as Dan jumps on Mr. Barco. Bob leaps up also, and together they administer the knockout drug to Mr. Barco. He falls on the floor. In front of the backstage area, a crowd of girls is being held back. They are screaming for Ronnie. Bob and Dan carry Ronnie out back to the car with Deborah. They lock the door on Mr. Barco before leaving. The four of them drive through the night. They carry Ronnie up to the laboratory and put him in the special chair, after double locking the door. They hook Ronnie up with all the wires again and get to work on him. Deborah is helping by giving moral support. Inner City. The detective, Terry, and Riley are still hiding behind the bushes.
Here, come on, some more.
Let's not test our luck.
We gotta get off in the street. I never seen so many donut men.
They make their way back to the front door of the dark-haired woman's house. They knock on the door. Riley sees through the window and watches her come across the dark front room. She opens the door ever so slightly.
Who is it?
We are new here. We want to get off the streets. Could we come in just for a little while?
No, get away. No, leave. Those black coats are coming closer.
Look, we're coming in. He pushes the door open and they go in. He covers her mouth with his hand. We mean no harm. Please let us stay here for just a little while until we learn where to go from here. All right? The woman is still for a while. Then she nods yes. The detective releases his hold.
Get away from the windows.
Come back with me. They go into the kitchen, Terry looking around while she turns off the overhead light and closes the door. They are alone. She sits down at the kitchen table.
Sit down.
They sit at the table with her. The detective notices a glass of clear liquid with curdling on top. She sees him looking at the glass.
My milk's gone bad.
What is that music? He is referring to some strange roller rink type organ music coming from the basement.
My daughter's having a party in the basement.
That's nice. It's very nice.
Don't go down there.
We won't go down there. Don't worry. The woman reaches up and scratches one of her warts. It was irritated. Now that she is scratching it, it is turning red. The detective and Terry watch her do this.
Look, we don't mean to cause no trouble in this place, so... I'm tired. I need sleep. She's sleepy.
Can we stay for a little while longer?
Stay. I just have to sleep for a while. I got bad sick yesterday. Now I'm feeling weak. Need sleep. Just you guys be quiet so I could sleep now.
She puts her head on the table and soon falls asleep.
Terry whispering. See, she's got the warts. A lot of them have warts. I told you that. They're having a party in the basement. That's what that music is. She said do not go down there. Believe me, I won't. We're lucky this one's nice. Letting us stay here. I hope those people don't come up here.
Quit talking about them.
Hank Bartell's got this city closed in so bad. God, I can feel it.
Terry begins to cry. Come on.
What is it?
Oh, he's crying about things. Come on, Terry.
Okay. That music's making me feel funny. I gotta get comfortable. My leg is hurting.
He hits his leg several times and digs into it some.
We gotta stay alert around here, Terry.
You said it, Riley. You listening, Terry?
This is what I'm trying to do. I'm really trying.
The woman begins to snore. Riley, Terry, and the detective sit quietly. Bob and Dan's laboratory, night. Ronnie is hooked up to all the old equipment. Bob, Dan, and Deborah are huddled around him.
Will he be alright?
He's so completely filled with poison.
Will he be alright? Yes, he will.
Bad circle, reverse, electricity.
I feel so strange. Something bad is gonna happen. I can feel it.
Something bad?
Yes.
Meanwhile, downstairs out on the street, a car pulls up to a screeching halt. Mr. Barco and Mr. Green are in the back seat. Mr. Barco, very angry. I want all of them down here. Mr. Green. I'll be right back. Mr. Green starts up the stairs. He goes around a corner, up more flights of stairs. The hallways are hard and barren, and Mr. Green's footsteps reverberate through the building. Interior. Bob and Dan's laboratory.
Whatever happens, remember, Ronnie, we love you.
Love.
Yes, we all love each other. We are a family. Such a beautiful family.
She holds them all tightly. Now they can hear Mr. Green's footsteps coming closer. They freeze. Mr. Green knocks on the laboratory door. He knocks again. He rattles the door and tries to open it. He waits and listens. Inside, they remain frozen. Mr. Green goes back downstairs, but not before noticing that the lights are on. He goes out to the car and sits down next to Mr. Barco. They're locked in there. The lights are on. They're not answering our call. Turns to Mr. Green. Those bastards just killed themselves. Let's go. Mr. Barco and Mr. Green start up the stairs. Inside the laboratory, they hear footsteps again. More of them.
Deborah, get in the closet. I gotta stay with you where I belong.
No.
Get in the closet. There might be trouble, please.
Deborah goes into the closet. Dan pushes a bolt on the door so she can't come out and get hurt. Just then, Green blows open the door with a big handgun. Mr. Barco and Mr. Green step into the laboratory and face Dan and Bob. Ronnie is still sitting in his chair in a deep sleep. End their lives! Mr. Green raises his gun. Run! Bob and Dan start running around the laboratory, trying to get to a safe place behind the big machinery. Mr. Green fires a shot. It strikes the machinery and some sparks fly. The needles on some dials move and a humming sound is heard. Ronnie starts coming to. Mr. Green moves and sees Bob. He fires but misses again. Ronnie starts to moan. Bob, fear in his voice. Get out of here, Barco. Leave us alone. You'll be alone in a minute. Mr. Green fires again. He hits a bunch of dials and controls. Needles jump and Ronnie's head goes back. He sits up some and starts moaning louder. The humming sound continues and other electrical sounds begin. Dan, from his hiding spot. Are you okay, Bob? Yeah, I'm okay. Dan picks up an old wrench and throws it at Mr. Green. It misses. Oh, Barco! Mr. Green moves slowly up just between the machinery. He spots Bob. He fires just as Bob sees him. Bob is dead. A bullet in the chest. Bob! You okay, Bob? Mr. Green turns to pursue Dan. Bob! Ronnie is screaming now, very loud, and the machinery is whining and humming. I'm gonna get you, Green! Bob! Bob! Dan comes rushing out suddenly from behind the machines. He rushes towards Mr. Green. Green fires at him and blows Dan back, but somehow the bullet doesn't kill him. Mr. Green fires again, but his gun is empty as he reloads. Dan, trying to get up. Barco, you've wrecked us. You wrecked us. You wrecked us, Bob. Bob! Ronnie's still screaming and the machines are loud. As Dan pulls himself up, he comes face to face with the screaming Ronnie. Mr. Green has reloaded his gun. Mr. Barco smiles. Dan turns, and Mr. Green shoots him in the head. Mr. Green then goes around pulling out all the plugs. The machinery begins to wind down, and finally the machine and Ronnie are quiet. But there is still a scream and a pounding on the closet door. Mr. Green fires a shot through the door. The scream stops and there's a thud. Deborah is gone also. Get the kid and let's get out of here. You want any of this stuff? No, I'll get my doctor to look after him from now on. He doesn't need this junk. Mr. Green undoes Ronnie from the wires and picks him up. Ronnie is moaning. Ronnie, moaning.
You wrecked us.
Mr. Green carries Ronnie out of the laboratory. Mr. Barco turns the lights off and follows him. The door slams shut. One small light remains on. It illuminates Dan's arm and head and Ronnie's special chair. The image turns into a wall of fire. Inner city. Dark-haired woman's kitchen at night. Suddenly, the door to the basement opens, and a young girl 16 years old comes into the kitchen. Her face is hideously covered with warts. Her teeth are broken and brown, with bleeding gums. She eyes the three suspiciously and goes to the refrigerator. She opens the door. Inside, she grabs some filthy pieces of food stuff out from amongst several decaying black cartons and cans and foul wrappings. She smiles the bloody broken toothed mouth at the detective and goes back into the basement. The detective can see the old piece of meat she retrieved from the refrigerator. It is covered in a black and white smeared mold. After she disappears into the basement, the three of them hear something in the living room. Voices. Men's voices. Riley, take a look.
Oh my God.
Riley goes to the kitchen door and opens it a crack. In the living room, he sees a room full of black coats, smiling, milling around. One is coming toward him to the kitchen.
Black coats!
Now the woman snaps awake. She has a hideous murderous grin on her face. She laughs and their skin crawls. They fly down the basement stairs, thunder above. Now they are in the dark basement, filled with slow dancers. Suddenly a girl slow dancer turns, comes running at them, arms outstretched in front of her, her mouth open, with blood all over her face. Slow dancers tearing at them, trying to bite them. They race into the bathroom and slam the door behind them. Fists knocked loudly, now on the other side. The detective spots a small window up to street level. Riley, up you go. Terry and the detective hoist Riley up to the open window. Suddenly, the detective feels a knife at his throat. He turns. Terry turns, still holding Riley aloft. A girl named Gersten, dressed in a pretty chiffon dress, is holding the knife. Gersten to the detective.
Stop! Where are you going so fast?
We're trying to leave here. Please let us go.
Turn around! Slow!
The detective turns around. He sees Gerstein. She would be very pretty except her face is covered with warts. He can barely see, it is so dark.
Dance with me.
Please let me leave. I have to leave.
Dance with me. I'll stab you and kill you.
The detective begins to dance with her. She holds him very close and puts the blade of the knife right on the skin of his neck.
This is nice.
They dance for a while as the detective can feel the blade on his neck.
Play with my hair.
The detective does as she says. He puts his fingers in her hair and gently rubs her hair and neck.
Now kiss me.
Riley and Terry watch silently, holding very still. The detective feels her slide her wart-covered face over his cheek until her lips meet in quite a passionate kiss. The girl reaches up and pulls her shoulder straps down and pulls her dress and bra away from her breasts. Feel me. There is more knocking at the door. The music is still loud.
What? Gerstein! It's Steve! Get out here! We're going!
In a minute. Feel me quick, do it. The detective feels her breasts and her head goes back in ecstasy.
Get out the window. Hey, come on! Get out here!
He tries the door.
Come on out here!
Electric sparks shoot through the window, knocking Riley and Terry down. The detective looks at his hand. 3 of his fingers are on fire, the flames coming out of the ends of them. When Gerstein sees this, she yells.
I'm coming now!
She bolts through the door and Terry is able to pull it shut and lock it again while the detective stares at his burning fingers. Riley climbs back to the window and yanks it open.
It's open! Let's go! What is it?
As the flames go out, it's a dream.
Let's
It's
get
a
out.
dream. Let's get
a
out of
dream.
here. They all scrambled out to street level. They run down the deserted, dark, desolate street to hide in a corner factory building. In a nearby filthy oil field, a group of black coats are running around crazily. They are catching dogs and throwing the dogs up about 100 feet through the air on top of the building. The dogs land and yelp and bark, and down below the men laugh and laugh. They run around and catch another dog and throw it up. Damn dogs are everywhere.
Dogs. Black coats, donut men, Hank Bartels.
Hey, we're in trouble. The detective's eye is caught by a light on the right side of the field, high in the night sky, then another light and another. The lights flare up and then fall to the ground in a streamer. It's happening.
What's that?
Come on. It's those friends of Ronald's. Hurry. It's Bob and Dan and Deborah. It is?
Who are they?
They run across the field, and in the darkness beyond, 3 figures emerge coming toward them. They can barely walk, the electricity is so bad. The detective and Riley reach them first. Terry wobbles in last. The 3 stare at the 3.
You're Bob, Dan, and Deborah.
Yes, they say. Everything's on fire. This is the only place that's left.
Things are really coming apart.
I am a detective. This is Terry and Riley. My friends, we are all friends of Ronald's, but we're the only friends in this area of the city. You're in the inner city now. That's Hank Bartell's electrical power station right over there.
You were shot. Yeah, but
Look, just don't lose consciousness. Terry, you better give him some pins or something.
there's a lot of electricity around here. You said it, mister.
Where's Ronnie? Well, he's around.
What's that?
Referring to Riley's black box.
It's a deflector I built. Single phase, cuts through anything. You want to see?
In unison, yes. They begin studying the black box and asking Riley questions. What is happening?
It looks like everything is reversed. We thought this, but... Say, Bob, I think we were right. There's another form of electricity. Snag that line up there and check the polarities, will you, Riley? Let me see a reading. Sure. You better show Bob and Dan those symbols.
The detective gets out the piece of paper with the symbols. As Riley gives Bob and Dan the reading they ask for, they all study Ronald's little drawings.
I must have seen him draw these 100 times, but never gave it a second thought.
Me neither.
He was trying to tell us something. This is the most unfortunate thing that parents sometimes do not listen to the small words of their children. I think there has to be some strong interference here.
There is. His name is Hank Bartellus. He's somewhere here. Possibly in that power station.
All my readings indicate he's there.
This symbol is a circle, and it is followed by this configuration. We want this, the broken circle. So we need this configuration. The triangle needs reversing. I've heard of triangulation, and I suppose it too has contrasting possibilities.
You mean...
Hey, there's a triangular in there and it's backwards.
Right, Bob. And the circles are getting smaller. Oh, can you make it right? There's a hell of a great big problem here. Because the closer anyone gets to that power station, the harder it is to think. There's rumors that a person forgets his own name in there. To the detective. Can you still stand on one leg? Try it. To everyone. Try to stand on one leg.
Everyone tries. No one except the detective can, and he is very wobbly.
He's the only one that has a chance confronting Hank. We'd be useless up close. Is there any way that you can make that power reverse from out here?
I don't think so. There's a triangular set in there, and someone has to get it to it and turn it around 180 degrees. Main city. Cut to the main city at night. Mr. Barco's smiling face. Big cigar as he watches the tail end of a performance of Ronnie Rocket. The music is pounding away. Mr. Barco to Mr. Green. See, that kid's doing fine. They continue to watch Ronnie. Ronnie gets weaker and weaker.
Give him more juice!
He hand signals more juice, and Fred pushes gingerly on the lever. When Ronnie doesn't show much improvement, Fred inches the lever forward and more. Ronnie starts sparking and smoking and vibrating on the floor, but luckily for him, the song is over. When Johnny unplugs him, Ronnie falls over and lays still. Backstage, the doctor and the band are laying Ronnie on the cot. Ronnie is having a strange fit. His eyes are rolled back and his back is arched and he's biting his tongue. Mr. Barco is watching Ronnie, although he's the only one really who isn't aware of Ronnie's deteriorating condition.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I told you I didn't know how Pink and Platinum did this. He's dying, I'm telling you. I can't figure out what they did. I told you to watch them. See what they did? I'll try to do something for him, but I don't know how.
Ronnie is convulsing very badly.
You guys better clear out.
As the band leaves, the doctor begins to check various areas of Ronnie. Mr. Barco watches him.
What do you think?
I don't know how he works. Maybe just let him rest.
Right.
He can rest for a while.
Maybe a few days. Maybe a few weeks.
A few days. Ronnie is writhing around, and the bag on the chest device is dripping up green smoking fluid. Ronnie is gasping for more air and is sweating. The inner city night.
Dan? Yeah, Bob? If we use Riley's box there and tie into these lines using the negative of our RZ patterns, we'll interrupt the power every 15 minutes. That's what I meant. Bobby, what does it mean? It means that if the detective can get in there and find that triangulator, we can cut Hank's power by 50% every 15 minutes. It may mean that he will be clear enough to think and act during that time. I can use that time and try to untie Hank's shoes. What's that?
It's a long story, but if his shoes are untied, and if he knows it, he might get real mad. And if he does, it'll cut his power even more.
That's good.
All right. Then Bob, Deborah, and I, along with Riley, will try to get this power interrupted for you. Terry will try to untie Hank's shoes. And you find the triangulator and possibly confront Hank. When the power lowers, you will reverse the triangulator.
And then what? It'll be a whole new ball game if we can get that far.
Let's go. We'll get as close as we can to get tapped in.
The detective and I will go in alone from there.
Good luck to you. Good luck to us all.
One more thing. When we go in, we're gonna be loaded with needles and pins. We gotta be. Okay?
Everybody in unison.
Okay.
At night, Ronnie is resting in his cot. He has pillows stacked up behind him, and he's in a sitting position. He's dozing and then waking, and then dozing. The band members are getting dressed up to go out. They are wearing fancy black suits and fancy shoes. The room is all smoky from their cigarettes. When Ronnie wakes, he calls out for Dan and Bob. The rest of the band pays no attention. They continue to dress. When they're finished, they begin gathering at the door by Ronnie's bed. Fred gets an idea and goes to his bass, which is leaning against the wall. Plugs it in, then plugs Ronnie in. Ronnie is dozing again. Suddenly, Fred turns the controls on, fires his bass up full, and hits it against the wall. Ronnie bolts forward and lets out a horrified, pain-filled scream. Everybody laughs. Ronnie starts swallowing in a funny way. Hey, let's get out of here anyway. I can't breathe in here. I can't breathe in here either. Let's go. They all file out. They don't say goodbye or anything to Ronnie. Ronnie is left alone, and he has been hurt by Fred's trick. He's trying to keep from vomiting and is scared looking. He keeps swallowing and holding his throat. Soon, though, he vomits up a little blood. His eyes tear up and he cries, "Bob! Ian!" He tries to wipe off the blood from his bed. He leans back, continuing to cry softly alone in the room. Mr. Barco's face close up. He's speaking on the telephone. His cigar is going up and down in his mouth. Behind his sweaty, heavy face are Venetian blinds.
We've had a little trouble, but he'll be there. Don't worry. We're going to go all out. That little bastard's going to do the show, even if his life depends on it. Everyone thinks he's slacked off. Well, just wait. He'll be there with bells and whistles. Ronnie Rocket will be there. You tell him. The little bastard will be there with bells and whistles. The doctor is with Ronnie. Ronnie is asleep. The doctor lifts an eyelid and peers into the eye with a little light. The doctor gives Ronnie a shot and then leaves the room. Ronnie's warning signals go off and he pulls himself to a sitting position. He gets his plug and, spotting the nearest outlet, begins to crawl over to it. He's just barely there when 4 groupie girls sneak into his room. Ronnie turns. They begin oohing and ahhing as they circle him. Ronnie lies helpless by the wall. The girls come in closer. They begin to touch him. They keep saying his name, "Ronnie Rocket," over and over again. One of them gets bold enough to kiss him. Then the others yell and giggle out, "Let me, let me!"
Pretty soon they are all pressed in on him and kissing him and feeling him and showing him their breasts. Just then the cleaning lady comes in to sweep and mop. She spots the girls all over Ronnie.
Get away from him! Get on out of here! Out! Out!
She swings her mops at them and the girls go running out screaming. The screams die off. Ronnie again tries to plug himself in, but the cleaning lady is on him.
Now you go back to bed. You shouldn't be out on the floor. That's where I'm gonna mop. I'll just set you right back where you belong in that bed of yours. My little girl, she talks about you. Yes, she does. She thinks you're something special. You're just a little red-headed animal, I say. She's like a tuft of your hair, I'll bet. I'm just gonna get a tuft of your hair. Just going to.
When she pulls at his hair, the wig comes off.
Oh my god. He's bald. Just tell my little girl about this. Bring her one of your real hairs.
She plucks out one of the long, fat brown hairs. It makes Ronnie Rocket whine when she pulls it out. She puts the hair in her pocket.
I'll just tell her about you. You're just a mess, my god. I'm going to get another one of your hairs for my little girl's friend.
She goes and starts plucking out another. Night. A marquee above the concert hall says, Ronnie Rocket, Electrocute, Big Sax Band, and Bill X. Inside, the audience is loud and gets louder when the Master of Ceremonies comes out on the stage. Backstage, Mr. Barco grabs Fred before he gets into position with his bass. I want him hot tonight. Don't be afraid to goose him real good. I mean it. I want him hot. All right, Mr. Barco, I will. He joins the band on stage. The Master of Ceremonies has just sang, and now, Ronnie Rocket! The curtain opens. The audience screams when they see Ronnie. Johnny plugs him in. Fred has the lever set at 5. Johnny hits his guitar, and Ronnie shoots a scream spark 40 feet into the audience. The band begins to go. Ronnie twitches to the beat and makes his sounds. When he begins to falter, his eyes roll back, and his head bounces up and down, and he falls down. Fred knows to up the lever to a higher number. It goes up to 6. Ronnie's face shows pain. We get closer and closer to his pain-filled face. Inner city at night. The group of 6, Bob, Dan, Deborah, Riley, Terry, and the detective, approach Hank Bartell's power station, which looms absolutely gigantic in front of them. Bloody knitting needles and pins stick out all over each of them. Surrounding the entrance to the power station are hundreds of black coats, donut men, and thin, sick dogs. The dogs are either gagging horribly or snarling with teeth sticking out. The closer the group gets, the harder it is for them to walk or talk. You guys better stop here and tap in, or you'll never be able to remember what to do.
Huh? Beats me.
Oh. The detective reaches out to each of them and jabs the needles in deeper and harder. He sees their glazed eyes focus once more. Tap in here, you guys.
Okay.
Dan, Bob, Deborah, and Riley start to leave the group, but the black coats drive them back. Oh no.
Looks like Hank wants us all inside. We should have stayed back where we were.
It's too late now. Just keep those needles. Killing you with pain. When we get in, same plan, okay? Okay. They enter the power station. Tremendous electrical arkings and humming sounds. The light is very dim. The group starts down a huge metal corridor, and with each step, the evil power of Hank Bartell's increases. Soon, only Terry and the detective can walk. The rest of the group is zapped by the blackcoats and carried through a small doorway off the corridor. Donut men appear laughing wildly with huge grins. They follow behind Terry and the detective. Soon Terry drops and he's carried off by the donut men after they zap him with the electrical guns. Now the corridor is completely empty. The lights are dimming rapidly. The detective walks ahead slowly. Fear is building inside of the detective. He senses a presence at the end of the corridor. Sweat begins to break out on his forehead. As he reaches the end, a figure slowly emerges. Hank Bartellus.
The detective. I've been waiting for you. This is the night Ronald died.
Well, I've been walling. Main city. The concert continues. On the stage, Electrocute is tap dancing and singing while she glows. Her glow begins to diminish, so she tap dances over to Ronnie, who is holding the microphone and screaming, and gets another jolt of electricity from him. She lights up very bright, and the power of the jolt causes her to scream also, and tap dance very fast. Ronnie's box, which Fred has, is now up to 7. The inner city. The detective is facing Hank Bartels. He struggles to speak but cannot. He turns suddenly, and behind him is a gigantic theater filled to capacity with thousands of men who look like Hank Bartels. They all wear black-rimmed plastic thick lens glasses like Hank's. Some carry circle banners. Behind them on the back wall is a giant symbol of a circle in a neon white light. Suddenly, the detective is on a stage in front of the vast audience of Hank lookalikes. Black coats deposit Riley, Bob, Dan, Deborah, and Terry on the floor of the stage. The audience goes wild. No one, including the detective, can stand up. All writhe wildly, spasmodically on the floor. Dan and Bob try to work with Riley's black box, but all they can really do is drool and slobber on it. Now Hank Bartels enters the stage. The audience applauds and cheers until the sounds thunder. The detective digs his knitting needles in deeper, but it does no good. He can barely focus his eyes. Hank Bartels walks around the detective.
He can stand on one leg. Watch. Stand on one leg. I'll bring the triangle around to show you.
The detective writhes wildly on the floor. He tries desperately to stand on 2 legs, let alone 1, but he can't. The audience again is wild. Main city. The concert continues. The audience is wild. Ronnie on the floor, bleeding and screaming. Inner city. The detective turns to his audience of thousands of Hanks.
He is a detective. He can give the detective's motto. Listen. Say the detective's motto. I'll let you turn the triangulator.
Suddenly, moving across the stage on a small stand on wheels, on top of the stand sits the triangulator. It is a beautiful device. Actually, it is made up of 2 triangles, forming a diamond shape. At the points at either end, 2 cords come out, and 1 at each end is plugged into the stand. A big fat cord runs off behind stage. The triangulator is all that stands in the way of success now, but the evil power of Hank is overwhelming. Hank smiling at the detective.
Can you turn it? He laughs.
The entire audience laughs hysterically as the detective struggles to say the motto.
Come, stand on one leg. Say it. The motto.
The detective is upside down, standing on his head. His legs bend in a multitude of impossible positions. His arms flip and twist into knots. He cannot speak. Only garble comes out. Hank now motions to an orchestra in the pit below the stage. This orchestra is the same one from the Circle Club. They begin to play a strange rhythmic dining music in time with the detective's garbles and physical spasms, like a modern dance in hell. The audience of Hank's laughs hysterically. Hank raises his hand, and he shoots lightning bolts with a thunderclap sound, which rocks the stage. The back curtains open, revealing a wall of fire 200 feet high. Inside the fire, thousands of souls scream silently for help. The detective tries to focus on this horror. He tries to scream. Across the stage, the fire causes Deborah to flip over onto Bob. Their lips meet. Bob's eyes focus. Where are we? I don't know. I thought I was dead. Your kiss. Your love. It saved me. Kiss Dan. We have to hurry. Deborah flies over and kisses the gyrating Dan. What? Oh. What? Oh. Where's the box? Stay right here with Deborah. Kiss Riley. She kisses Riley and he awakes. At least as awake as they are, which isn't much considering Hank's continuing horror power. Riley fishes the black box out from under his shirt. Bob finds a section of the fat wiring coming out from the triangulator. and taps in. Dan, Bob, and Deborah and Riley all cling to each other. Deborah kisses each of them constantly to keep them conscious. Dan adjusts the black box for the negative RC pattern. They watch the detective and wait. The main city concert. On the stage now, Fred is putting the needle up to 8 because there is some movement at 8. Mr. Barco can't stand watching anymore and comes out on the stage. Behind the equipment, catches Fred's attention and Fred gives him the box. Mr. Barco immediately shoves the lever to the highest at 10. Ronnie starts vibrating and bleeding and screaming, then gets up, but just holds onto the microphone screaming. The inner city. Terry is struggling to focus on the shoes of Hank Bartels. He sees to his horror that not only are Hank's shoes tied, but they are double tied. He crawls up under Hank's nose, trying to untie the laces of at least one of the shoes. Hank laughs at Terry's antics, thinks Terry's trying to stop him from tormenting his friend and the detective.
You're trying to keep me from your friend here? You're a nuisance, so I'll kill you both.
Then more strange laughter.
That's the floor.
At this, the floor begins to slide steadily toward the wall of the fire, and the screaming, burning multitudes beyond. Hank to the detective.
Hurry! Soon the floor will move you to the fire where you will die the death. For you, I will make you into dog bone. My dogs will feed on you for 100 years. See yourself as a dog bone.
The detective looks up. Now the wall of flames becomes transparent, barely perceptible. Behind the flames now he sees himself. Gigantic, white, pale bone. Parts of him are chewing away. 40 or 50 small, sickening little dogs chew feverishly on him, on his dog bone body. Main city. Concert. Mr. Barco runs the lever down a bit, then back up. Ronnie is still screaming. The music is intense. Ronnie falls over as Mr. Barco brings the lever down. Then he goes up when the lever goes up. Electrocute is running a little low now, and she dances over to get another shock from Ronnie. Fred looks at the lever at 10, then electrocute, but yells at her too late. She touches Ronnie, and the power blows her across the stage and turns her into a black burnt cinder in a dress. The music seems to get louder then, and the crowd roars. The inner city. The audience is applauding and now stamping their feet. The fire has returned. It burns even hotter. The soul's tormented crying is now audible. The moving floor has now brought the detective and his friends closer to the end of the stage, in their final fall into the sea of fire. Terry's sword is bleeding profusely where he's jabbing at it. The pain intensifies and his eyes focus. His fingers dart around Hank's feet, busily untying Hank's shoelaces. Hank takes delight in stamping on Terry's finger, but the pain it causes only helps Terry. After one very hard stamp, probably snapping some delicate finger bones in Terry's hands, the audience laughs uproariously. Terry, under his breath, "Thank you, Hank. Thank you. Between you stamping and my bleeding sore, I'm able to do my work." Bob, Dan, and Deborah and Riley are still clinging to each other. Any minute now, there should be a noticeable decrease in Hank's power. It'll only last a second or two. The detective has got to be ready to take advantage of it. Look, Terry's got one lace untied. It's getting hotter, my darlings. Will we be in time? Remember, I love you boys with all of my heart. This is the way I believe. Love is the most beautiful thing. Main city. Night. Concert. The big sax band plays heavy music. Ronnie's head bangs up and down on the floor, bleeding. Inner city. Hank Bartels jumps toward the detective, and now he makes his head change into the head of a dog. He growls and moans. With the audience cheering, Hank raises his fingers and blows open the detective's chest with electric power. No! No! The detective is so distorted now. He looks exactly like Ronnie looked in the hospital basement. Inside the detective's chest, his heart is pounding. Smoke billows out. The souls in the fire scream now very loud. The floor is moving the detective dangerously close to the fire. The detective's eyes roll about desperately trying to focus. His lungs are wheezing. His veins and arteries pounding along with his swollen, smoking heart. Sweat is pouring out of his brow. Hank changes back to Hank and smiles close to the detective's face. The detective struggles to turn away. His eyes focus on something deep within the oncoming fire. He struggles to see, and then it finally becomes clear. He sees Diana within the fire, and she sees him. He screams. His head turns in anger to Hank Bartels. His eyes roll to Terry. His brain perceives that Hank's shoelaces are untied. He swings his ever-so-heavy head, and he sees the black box all tapped in. Bob, Dan, Deborah, and Riley waiting in a huddle for the right time. He sees the fire looming close. He hears the power of the electricity, the screams of Ronnie, the screams and the sounds of the audience, the swelling sound of the twisted music from the ultimate discordant orchestra. He sees Diana. He sees Ronnie. Now, instantly the power drops. Hank turns stunned. The detective tries to remember what to do. Terry waits. Bob, Dan, Deborah. Suddenly. Hey, Hank, your shoelaces are untied. Hank looks down. He sees. As his head comes up, the loudest yell imaginable rushes forth from his mouth. Also, fire shoots out with this yell. The fire burns outward, cutting a swath through the audience of Hanks, killing many of them instantly, and ending by blowing a huge hole in the circumference of the giant glowing circle symbol in the back of the theater. The detective lurches forward and grabs the triangulator. He grasps it firmly. His friends watch with profound relief as he turns the triangular perfectly so that all the electricity in the city is reversed. There's a nice solid click as the new position locks. There's a silence, a pause. Then, Hank's head falls off. Then he collapses. A wind blows all the Hank audience away to darkness and moaning. The fire turns to white light. Light radiates. The souls begin to float. The orchestra music becomes perfection. The music is beautiful and powerful. In a powerful rhythm, lights begin to pop on outside, destroying the darkness and destroying the donut men and the black coats. They burst into flame and become part of the new light. The detective, now looking very good and normal, Terry, Bob, Dan, Deborah, and Riley all stand, smile. Diana floats out of the light towards the detective, a happy smile of love. The city lights up with a golden morning light from a gigantic new sun. Ronnie glows white hot on the stage and floats up. The crowd chants, "Ronnie, rocket!" Some yell, "He's floating! He's... The band and all around him disappears in golden white light. Ronnie floats up golden in space. The detective, Terry, Bob, Dan, Deborah, Diana, Riley, they all float and merge inside of Ronnie. The whole city is golden inside of Ronnie. Ronnie sings his love song. Ronnie is a golden egg. The egg appears in a room now. The room has an ocean for a floor. In the room, many tiny golden eggs float. A small girl sits on her father's lap. We see the strangely beautiful girl, but the father's back is to us.
Father, will all the new universes be born?
Soon. And when they are, I'm going to get you a great big chocolate to celebrate.
Oh, Father, really?
She hugs him, and as they get up to leave, we leave with one little golden egg across the room to a blue lady with 4 arms who's doing a strange dance on a lily pad. One arm stops dancing and reaches out. A finger touches the one little golden egg. The woman smiles and laughs. Ronnie, rocket. Ronnie. The end.
Thank you for listening to this ever-expanding Theater of the Mind production. See you on the next one.
Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this recording.